Hey, good day, folks. How you doing? Hope everyone's doing great. I'm coming at you from Montgomery, Alabama. I am here in downtown Montgomery, Alabama. I am close to the Riverfront Park. Like below me, you got what appears to be some community gardens, and then you look a little further out. Uh, you got the I believe you got the Alabama River. I believe that's the Alabama River, everybody. And then you come this way. Well, in fact, I'm gonna turn you guys around for a second. Like behind me, you got some, looks like some apartments or condominiums. I'm not sure what they are. I'm gonna give you guys a quick view of where I'm at. Alright, folks, I'm just hanging out in Montgomery, Alabama for a little bit. I'm gonna basically do a video to where I'll show you a couple of different neighborhoods. I'm gonna show you the exterior of a few different houses in a couple of different neighborhoods. That's what I'm gonna be doing, and that's why I'm here in Montgomery, Alabama. So we're gonna go ahead and go to that footage, and then we're gonna have a little conversation. Alright, folks, right behind me are a couple of brand new builds. Now the one on the very corner looks like it's already occupied, and there's also more new builds that are occupied. But these two behind me are up for sale. And obviously, well, and just in case you missed earlier in the video, I am here in Montgomery, Alabama, and I'm gonna do a quick walk tour of this neighborhood here in Montgomery, Alabama. And right now I'm on Burbank Crossing Loop, and this house behind me is for sale. It's a brand new build, and they're asking $216,000, then $126. So they're asking a little over $216,000 for this particular house. And just to get an idea where I'm at, Burbank Crossing Loop is located in East Montgomery, Alabama, right off of 231. Well, it's a little off of 231 in East Montgomery, Alabama. South, they consider this East Montgomery, Alabama, I believe. So I'm gonna turn this camera around, and we're not going inside none of these houses. We're gonna just look at the exterior. So I'm gonna turn the camera around, and then we'll go from there. This house is for sale, but the house I got a price on is actually this house on the corner. This is the one that they're asking $216,000 for, and this house is probably about the same price. And you look around, they're getting ready to break the grounds over here to probably build a few more of these type of houses. So let's see what you get in Montgomery, Alabama for over $216,000 when it comes to a newer home. I mean, here's the signs out in the front, just in case you're interested in buying one of these houses. Here's the signs out in the front. Now, well, let's look at the house. I'm not sure how real you guys are going to be able to see inside. Now I will say the neighborhood appears to be nice and clean and quiet. The majority of these houses are newer. And for this house, the driveway is going to actually be in the back. Here's your driveway. It's big enough to fit one car, and I would add barely. So this house does back into an alleyway right here. Here's your driveway. Here's your back door. The house next to it has got the exact same layout as this house has got. And then you got your house here on the corner that's got a very similar layout. You got your little one-car driveway in the back, barely a one-car driveway. I might be able to fit my van on that driveway. That's going to be about it. Now I would say, just to indicate how well these people pay attention to detail or lack thereof, like with this house, you look at the foundation, you can still see material sticking out of the siding. And in my opinion, anyone that's detailed when it comes to building a house, all that would have been cut. But you can see on this house, it all still sticks out. Now I know for a lot of you that might not be a big deal, but it just goes to see all around here, they still got that stuff sticking out. Now for a lot of you, it might not appear to be a big deal, but to me, whenever you have a property on the market for sale, it just goes to indicate the lack of it just goes to indicate that these people just throw this stuff together and then they throw it on the market and make their money. They don't even concern themselves with the quality of the build, as they should. Especially when you're paying over $200,000 for a house that small that barely even has a driveway. So we're going to see, here's what you got across the street. Nice clean neighborhood. So we're going to take a little walk around the area. I'm going to show you guys the area a little bit. Like I said, they're still breaking grounds to build more houses. Now, I will say one thing. At least the construction site is clean. You don't have a whole bunch of debris laying all over the place. Like the house I showed you guys in Andalusia, that one big one. So looks like they're gonna build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses. So on this lot, they're gonna build 5 more houses. And just to get an idea of how close these houses are to each other, I mean, it's a nice quiet area. People appear to keep their yards clean. But in my humble opinion, if I'm going to pay over $200,000 for a home in Montgomery, Alabama, I got to have a lot more than what these people are having out here. That's my opinion. I mean, there's plenty of nice older houses here in the city of Montgomery that I'd rather buy than to be out here. So we're going to take a walk around the area. Hi, how about you? How long have you been out here for? How long have you been out here for?
Like 2.5 years.
Okay. I mean, is it nice and quiet out here?
Oh yeah, we like the area.
Okay. How's your house? Is it holding up well?
What is that?
Is the house? I'm just pointing it that way. That way, I don't have you in the camera.
Yeah.
Is the house holding up well?
Is the house what?
Is the house holding up good? Is it falling apart? Is it holding?
Yeah, houses, but you know, it's different realtors build out here, so.
Okay. So you got different developers that come out here and build.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to come out here and take a just check out this area.
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's all right.
Okay.
What you think about getting one of those?
Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of recording. I'm just because there's people that might want to come out here to Montgomery, and I like to show people all the different options. Oh, those two. How long they been up for the market? How long those two houses been up on the market? All right, folks. I had to stop recording for a minute. People that don't want to be in the video, I try to be respectful of that. So now that I'm back walking again, I just want to show you guys the area. And as I say again, it's a nice little area, nice and quiet. Honestly, it kind of feels like I'm in the suburbs in a way, as opposed to being in the city of Montgomery. Now, the guy who I just spoke to a minute ago, he told me that, for one, you guys may have heard this, but different developers are out here building these houses. So these houses are not built by the same people. And apparently those houses that I showed you towards the beginning of the video have been on the market for over a couple of months. But I can personally see why. I think what they're asking for these houses is an awful lot of money for the little bit of yard that comes with the house. I mean, the house itself is not even that big. I mean, basically, it's just a basic single-story home. Like this house right here, the driveway is going to be in the back, going into the alleyway right there. And I would imagine that these brick houses are going to cost a little more than the regular siding houses will go for. So yeah, people, now in my humble opinion, if you're wanting to move to Montgomery, I would come down here and look for an older pre-existing house, something built, like I said before, look for something that was built prior to 1995. I would go that route as opposed to buying any of these. And this is the reason why, for those of you that currently own older houses, it would behoove you to take care of those houses as opposed to dogging those older houses out, and then you come out here and you buy these newer houses that they literally just throw together overnight, and then they want to charge you a premium price. All right, folks, I think you guys get the idea. I will talk to you guys later. Here's some more land that they're going to be building on at some point, I'm assuming. Counting these poles, you got 1, 2, 3. Looks like they're going to be building at least 3 more houses on this lot right here. Yeah, 1. Yeah, looks like they'll be building 3 more houses on this lot. Maybe 4. Hey folks, I'm still here. I'm still here in Montgomery, Alabama. Behind me is another house that we're gonna walk through the exterior, and I'm just gonna show you a few things on the outside. So I'm gonna turn my camera around, then we'll go from there. All right, folks. This house is currently for sale. It's an older house. And to be honest, it's not in the most desirable part of the city. It's got a tin roof that's been painted over, so it's probably older. You got the classic bars on the window. And looks like next door they've already there's a house next door that they've already demolished. Now this house does not come with that big of a yard. Now I guess in time somebody can buy this vacant lot and they could turn it into, it could become part of the yard for this house, but at this point the yard in this house is relatively small. I think the lot size is about 4,000 square feet, give or take. The lot size is not that big. You got a little storage shed, which someone's got locked up pretty good. And it's a shame that people don't take better care of their properties in this neighborhood, because a lot of these older houses are built solid. And even out here, the lot sizes are significantly bigger compared to the lot sizes of many of your newer houses. And in these older neighborhoods, you also get way more bang for the buck as well. It's just a shame that people out here don't take more pride in their community and also in their dwelling. Well, we're going to take a little ride through the neighborhood here. And I'll talk to you guys later. Alright folks, I understand that my footage may have not been the best footage in the world. Now, on that first video, I showed you guys a couple of houses on the east side of Montgomery. Now on the second video, that house was on the south side of the city, and that little bit of time where my camera fell and you guys saw all of my plastic bags and stuff in my car. It's not that I'm a messy person. I just keep like when I go through certain neighborhoods, I do certain things to my vehicle intentionally for very specific reasons. I'll just leave it like that. But anyways, the second video that you guys saw, I was on the south side of the city, and that house that I looked at, they're wanting $40,000 for that house. I think they're wanting about 40 grand for that house, somewhere off in that ballpark. And I just wanted to show you those two neighborhoods, just to show you guys some of what's going on in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, some of you may not believe that Montgomery, Alabama is going to be gentrified. Now, I believe that Montgomery, Alabama, like most of the cities in the United States, will be gentrified. Now, right now, there is gentrification going on here in Montgomery. It's going on very slowly. Like, I'm going to turn my camera around for a hot second, and I'm going to show you guys. Now, if you look behind me, those are all, I'm not sure if those are condominium communities or apartments. I'm not sure. But those are all upscale facilities. Now, off the top of my head, I'm not sure what they charge a month to rent. I'm going to assume that they charge well over $1,000 a month, which for Montgomery, Alabama, that is a lot of money. So I just wanted to put this video together just to show you guys that yes, Montgomery, Alabama is going through a little bit of gentrification. I mean, it may not be going through gentrification like Huntsville or like other major cities in the United States, but it is going through gentrification. And housing prices here are slowly beginning to increase. So for those of you that live in Montgomery, Alabama, you like your city, you like your neighborhood, and you're currently paying rent, it's going to behoove you guys to put your money where your mouth is. And if you got the ability to do so, to go ahead and pull that plug and purchase a home in your community. I'm not trying to pressure you guys. I'm not trying to rush you guys. I'm not a real estate agent. It's just that oftentimes, whenever a major city goes through gentrification, many of us knows what direction that typically will go. Sorry for the train, but I can't help it. But most of us knows the direction gentrification typically will go. I mean, gentrification typically will hurt predominantly black communities more than any other community. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. And Montgomery having a very large black population, I think about 60% of the population here is African American. So with all that being said, for those of you that live in Montgomery and you want to stay in the city, you don't want to have to move out, you're going to really want to at least consider purchasing your residence. Putting your money where your mouth is what I call it. Because if you don't, other people will come to this city and they will see the potential of this city and they will purchase properties out here. They will come into your neighborhood and they will purchase properties by the block. And what they'll do is the houses that need to be renovated, they'll renovate those houses. The ones that should have been torn down 10 years ago, they'll do all that. Businesses that are currently in Montgomery that might be authentic to the city, those businesses will most likely disappear. And in place of those businesses, you will have a bunch of big box businesses owned and ran by corporations out of California. The restaurants that are in Montgomery, a lot of those places will also go out of business. And again, you will have a bunch of big box restaurants that serve you shitty food. Again, they're going to be ran by some big corporation way across on the other side of the country that know absolutely nothing about the South and don't care about the South. So, for those of you that care about Montgomery, you want to stay, you want to preserve Montgomery, like I said, for those of you that are renting, you're going to want to go ahead and make the purchase. You're going to want to purchase your residence. For those of you that have a business mindset and you got a little bit of money, you're going to want to go ahead and at least entertain the idea of starting a storefront business here in Montgomery. And I know a lot of you are going to say, well, who cares about Montgomery? Montgomery's a ran down city. The neighborhoods are complete trash. I know some of you are going to say that. And I know some of you other folks are going to be like, there's no hope for Montgomery. Montgomery, Alabama is done. They need to go ahead and tear down the whole city and gentrify the entire city. However, that might, to some of you, that might sound good. But like I said, for those of you that live in Montgomery, if you allow outsiders, so to speak, to come to your city and fix your city up, make your city look better, they will do it. However, they're not going to do it for you. They're going to do it for themselves and their people. And gentrification almost never goes well for many of the natives. What gentrification will oftentimes do is price out many of the natives out of the city and force many of the natives to have to move further out. Now, for some of you, you might be cool with that because you want to live in a smaller town anyway. But for others, you like the city life. You like having everything close by. You like having places within walking distance. So if that's you, like I said, put your money where your mouth is. Because gentrification is here in Montgomery. It is here in Montgomery. Yes, it is. And for people that online that want to tell you, oh man, Montgomery's a trash city, Montgomery is crime infested. Yes, Montgomery, unfortunately, it does have an issue with crime, and yes, the city does have an issue with poverty. That's all very true. However, for those of you that desire to live in the city, right now is a time to put your money where your mouth is. And if you're gonna live in Montgomery, right now it's the time to put your money where your mouth is and go ahead and purchase your home here. Because like I said, by the time they get in and they make this city better, they make the city a more desirable, ideal place to live, by then many of you will no longer be able to afford to live here. You don't believe me? Take a trip up to Nashville, Tennessee and look at Nashville, and then have a talk with some of the natives of Nashville. I mean, I remember back in the day when I lived in Nashville, which was back in the mid-2000s, and North Nashville, if you know, you know, but North Nashville, like off of Clarksville Pike, all that used to be considered the hood. You go to that area now, they got a whole bunch of super expensive, overpriced houses and apartments to where people are paying $1,500, give or take a month, $2,000 a month for rent the closer you get to downtown. And a lot of the natives that used to live in Nashville have now been priced out of the city, and now they've been forced to have to move further out, like to Columbia, to Lewisburg, to Springfield, to Gallatin. Y'all get the idea. And again, If you know Mid-Tennessee, you know what I'm talking about. So for those of you that live here in Montgomery and you're watching this video, take my word. If you want to stay in Montgomery, if you want to preserve Montgomery, Alabama, put your money where your mouth is. Because as I say, if you don't, somebody else will. And if they do, that's not going to be good for you. So that is the main reason why I came down here. I came down here to put this video together. And again, I apologize for some of the footage. I'll try to look around for a holder for my vehicle for this type of phone. So I apologize for the footage, but I just wanted to come down here and make this video and just warn you guys that gentrification is happening as I speak here in Montgomery, Alabama. And Montgomery is one of the few cities in the United States that is still relatively affordable. And it happens to be in a warmer climate. So for those of you that might live up in Detroit, Michigan, or maybe you're living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you're looking to move somewhere that's warmer, I mean, yes, the wages down here unfortunately is lower, and yes, the economy here is smaller. But for those of you that are either business minded, for those of you that maybe you're retired, or depending on what line of work you do, like if you work in any of the trades, I'm letting you all know right now, Montgomery, Alabama is wide open. It's wide open. If you're willing to endure a few minor inconveniences and setbacks, you can come down here and buy a house for, if you want it, you can come out here and buy a house. I would say in a decent part of the city, you can buy a house for $150,000. I mean, there's plenty of houses in other neighborhoods that are, I would say, so-and-so, that you can buy for well under $100,000 if you're on a tight budget. So that's all I got for you guys. Stay blessed. I just wanted to add one more thing. Now, if you choose to come here to Central Alabama, I mean, the job market down here is basically very blue collar. I mean, down here, there's factory work, there's warehouse work. If you have your CDLs, there's work down here for you if you have your CDLs. And like I said, the trades, at least right now, are wide open, especially if you want to come down here and build your own business. So yeah, there's really no need for you guys to all move to cities like Atlanta that are overcrowded and overpriced, and the economy there at best is mediocre. I mean, like I said, right now, cities like Montgomery, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama are all wide open. Houses are relatively affordable, and for less than a couple $100,000, you can actually go to some of these cities and live a fairly decent life. And like I said earlier, you're also here in the warmer climate where, for the most part, you don't really have to worry about snow and ice, for the most part. So stay blessed. Check you guys later. Hey, sorry people, I keep coming back, man. There's things that keep coming to my mind, and I just want to get off my mind. Now, here's a quick message for those of you that live in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, for those of you that currently reside in Montgomery, Alabama, and you want to leave the city, you want to go somewhere that you feel is a better place for you to live, I mean, I'm not saying not to do so, but if you're going to leave Montgomery, Alabama, and you're moving to another major city, I'm going to tell you right now that you may not see any potential in the city because you grew up in the city. You're probably sick and tired of the city, which is fine. But for those of you that want to leave the city and you currently own your home, if you're less than 100% sure that you want to leave the city, if it's feasible to you, what I would advise you to do is don't sell your house. Keep your house, rent it out, and wherever city you want to go to that city, rent in that city, try out that city, and see if you like it. Because sometimes you think you might like a city because the jobs pay better, there's more entertainment, but then when you go to that city, you might find that the cost of living there is significantly higher than what you're used to. And I'm gonna tell you guys something else too. For those of you that live in the hood, you call your neighborhood the ghetto. You treat your neighborhood like it is the ghetto. But I guarantee that day is gonna come to where your neighborhood is gonna get gentrified. Some developers are gonna come through your block and buy up your whole entire block. And they're gonna renovate a bunch of those houses. Or to some of those areas, they'll tear down the houses and they'll build high price apartments. They'll build those super cheap, low quality houses, except they'll charge you a couple $150,000 a house. So for those of you that currently live in Montgomery, take care of what you got. Because I can guarantee you, if you don't take care of what you got and you let it go to shit, somebody else will come and they will buy like whatever you may consider garbage. Some investor will buy it and they're going to consider your garbage a treasure. And before you know it, you're going to look up and you're going to see a bunch of changes that at first you're thinking, oh good, I'm glad the city's changing for the better. But then when it's time for you to renew that lease, surprise, surprise, your landlord, your lease might, like if you're paying, let's say, $700 a month for your house or apartment, the landlord might tell you, well, we're raising your price to $1,000 a month. You're thinking $1,000 a month, that's crazy. I can't afford that. And that's exactly what's going to happen to a lot of you that are currently paying rent. For those of you that own your home, take better product. For those of you that own your home and you live in the hood, some of them houses look kind of scary. So take better care of your houses. Take better care of the neighborhood. Have more pride in your property. Cut your grass every week. Don't let your neighborhood go to shit and then some developer comes through and they buy up your whole block and then you wonder why you've been priced out of and then you wonder how you got priced out of your city. And this is one way. This is one small way that us normies, especially those of you in the black community, especially those of us in the black community, can fight against this increase of housing. You want to afford? Sometimes, like when it comes to affordable housing, sometimes we gotta learn to think outside the box and do a little bit of self-reflecting. Hopefully, I'm making sense to you guys. Okay, now I'm gonna check out. I will see you guys on the next one. Stay blessed.